Hello, world. Let me take these off because it glares. So it's been a while since I've done a live stream. I do these once in a while just to try and speak off the cuff a little bit. I find that if I'm over prepared, it's honestly more difficult to get my thoughts out there. And rather than do that, I like to stream when something occurs to me. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you enjoy the chat. If we have not met, I am Jonathan Mills. I conduct organizational culture analysis and strategy development through my company, Corporate Culture Specialist. I'm also a business analyst, and I have a background in primarily federal agency support to do requirements engineering, process development, technical writing, strategy development, and even manpower analysis. I fell in love with organizational culture as something to study and pursue a few years ago when I first started reading about it, because I recognized this really neat meeting place, this center between organizational culture as a system, not a fluffy thing, but as a science meeting organization as a system, designing the dynamics of policy and procedure and position and roles and all that, and knowing that one thing can serve the other, right? You can create synergy there, and I fell in love with that study. That led me to, in part, reading up on the subject throughout my day and getting online to talk about it. So I recently came across this article. This was thrown to me by the distribution from Wowledge. I'm getting into liking this site. It's got a lot of interesting resources on it. But this topic specifically, I like the treatment of this topic by this author. So job rotation as a way of trying to meet the impact of burnout, especially. In fact, there's a note in here. Here it is, right? So, citing the prevalence of employees reporting stress and burnout, feeling stuck in their jobs. Yes, that is absolutely a modern norm, and very much a human norm. I am sure, as long as there has been work, there has been burnout, and never have we been in a better position as a society to recognize the presence of burnout, to recognize when it happens, to study and survey its occurrence, assign percentages to it, all that. And so it makes us better equipped to justify working on it. Because often in this world, in the work lifestyles we carry, we feel like we need to justify making changes. We need some kind of evidence to prove, let's go after that thing. And so, I can appreciate the presence of that evidence in this article. I can also appreciate, on principle, going after something like job rotation, entertaining that as a viable solution for improving work life. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And this article does a good job of covering a variety of aspects of that opportunity, not just talking about the benefits as you would expect the blog to, right? But talking about the challenges, going after this in sort of a realistic way, and then giving some steps towards implementation. I love it. So I'm going to study this even further. I think this will make a good resource. But the reason I hopped onto a live stream today is because I think it's important when we talk about solutions to elevate our perspective above those solutions, to try and recognize um, what is the broader problem or the broader challenge that we are addressing. Why do we think something like job rotation is good at mitigating something like burnout? Um, let me give you an analogy. Uh, I think of solutions that help with burnout generally as positive, but if you had someone uh, treading water, right? You imagine your whole workforce is just a bunch of people treading water in the bay, and it's choppy, and the weather's not great, and everyone's tired, and their job is to be in the water. The job is to be where they are, um, but the environment that they've been cast into is hostile. So they're getting tired and they're treading water. So if you offer them a floaty, right? You throw them pool noodles. Yeah, yeah, they're going to accept the pool noodles, 100%, and it's going to help, and that's an objectively positive thing to be doing. Now, that analogy clearly it minimizes the benefit and effort that goes into something like job rotation or another solution like job crafting, or employee mobility. And I'm not meaning to diminish those efforts. I think those are good. I think they're worth going after. Um, but we should recognize also that leaving employees in the water to leaving them in a hostile environment is a mistake. Uh, the pool noodle will help. That solution will help, but it's not going to solve the problem. They're just going to get to burnout more slowly. And I think that's often all we can feel we can do. Sometimes that is all we can do. But I would like to see us do more to go after the core cause of burnout, and that's the environment. That is the role our employees have been asked to fill. That is the management practices running their day to day. That is all the policies and procedures at play. That is the work-life balance that they've been asked to sustain. That is, I'm going to I'm going to stop myself from just listing off things. But what I'd like to see is job rotation incorporated into a larger, long view strategy to address the environment. And so I'm talking about an organizational culture management initiative. I'd like to steer away from change initiative a little bit, because I think transformation efforts, they almost always fail when it comes to culture. So it's more productive for us to regard working on culture as a long-term behavior that we're adopting as organizations. So it's a capability. It's rather than an organization successfully executing a 1 to 5 year transformation effort, the organization is going to become really good at self-reflection, positive change, and then monitoring success measurement. And you just get really good at doing that with a yearly pattern. And you elevate it up to the level of strategic planning and thinking, right? Culture becomes this thing that we watch and monitor and work on over time, with the same sort of vigor and attention that we do our organizational strategy and our market strategy. Um, we give it, we give it that level of import. And then you get things like the job rotation. That becomes one of your options in the toolkit for making culture better over time. We get to enjoy these kinds of efforts in a more holistic way. So again, I endorse this as a solution. I think this is a good treatment of it. I'm just advocating for a broad perspective to encompass this solution and other things like it, other ideas like it. So when you see turnkey solutions advertised, ways of improving burnout, improving employee experience in marginal ways, those are positive, but let's make sure we treat them and use them for what they are, which is a piece of a larger effort, of a larger capability, and a larger pattern of behavior at an organizational level. I hope that made sense. I like doing these talks because, frankly, it's just hard to get my brain out, just to get my thoughts out sometimes. And when I come across something that sparks my imagination and my interest, I want to jump on it. So again, I am Jonathan Mills of Corporate Culture Specialist. If we have not met in person or virtually, I would love to connect. Please don't hesitate to reach out. And I hope you're having a wonderful summer. Thanks so much. Cheers.